Today I'm going to review the Saris MTR-2 tray bike rack. It's a 59-pound beast, not very easy to get on your vehicle, but once you get this on, it is very, very stable. I'm going to take you through the paces, show you what I like about this rack, some concerns I have, and then also fit a couple of my bikes on it so you can see what they look like and how easy it is to put them on and to get them off. With that said, let's get started. The first thing I want you to notice is that it's got a very compact design for storage. I like that. I have a small 2-car garage, and so when I put it away, it's nice. It doesn't take a lot of space up. So the first step to get the bike rack in is you pull up the handle here, and then I step down on the insert mechanism. I want to point out that when you tighten up the bolt that goes through your hitch, this ends up rising, and that's what secures the bike rack to the hitch itself. It's nice and broad, provides a very solid contact. Another nice feature is this mechanism can slide this pin forward or backward. That way, what happens is you end up having the exact depth to insert it so that the security pin can go right through here into the hole in your hitch receiver. There's no guesswork at all. I pivot it around. This is where it gets a little difficult to get on the car because it is actually quite heavy. Picking it up, line it up, and slide it in. And the hole now is perfectly lined because that stopped it. This is the security pin. It's threaded. I'll take a crescent wrench many times, just tighten up just one little bit of a turn. That makes it sure it won't come off. Extra bonus, it's a bottle opener. Now this is the lock that goes on the other side to make sure nobody can loosen this up and walk out with your rack. Simply thread it on here, and then there's a lock. It's secure. Cover it up to prevent grime from getting in the keyhole. To lower the rack, I basically pull up on this. Before I bring it all the way down, I want to point out, this is the position for storage. This is for storage on the car. This one, nice satisfying click. That's for when you have your bikes on. And the last one is when you drop it, if you're going to want to access the trunk. And then it's solid as can be. To lower the rack, just grab the handle, compress it, and it clicks into place. After you lower the tray, you pull up on this locking mechanism and pivot the arms out. Repeat here. It clicks in. Just repeat over here and here as well. And they're locked in now. They don't move. So from there, it's pretty easy to get your bikes on. There's a handle here you can press. This moves up. The next one is up, and repeat for the second tray if you're going to use it. Now, in terms of the wheel chocks, this particular crossbar can be dropped if you have a smaller bike, or raise it for your road bike, your mountain bike. The other nice thing is this tray will take up to 5-inch wheels without making any adjustments whatsoever. I really like that. I can get my carbon fiber bike on it. I can get my fat tire bike on it. Anything will go on this, including bikes with fenders, which I'll show in a few minutes how that actually works. The thing that is best about this rack, I believe, is that it's a frameless contact. The only contact with your bike whatsoever is on the wheels. So if you have a carbon fiber bike, you're not going to mess up the frame by driving down the road, having some of it rub on the carbon fiber, like a lot of other racks that you can find have that problem. This one, not an issue at all. The other thing to really pay attention to is when I pull this arm up, it's a ratchet mechanism. So once it closes, it can't back up at all. It's going to stay secure. It won't open up unless you press this handle and then you open it. This is my Salsa War Road all carbon fiber speed machine. So to get this on, it's very easy. All you do, lift on the tray, click that till it's secure. Bike's not going to fall over. Come to the back, click this on, Push it down a couple clicks, and now that bike is not going anywhere. The front wheel goes where you have this wheel block, and that's to provide just a little bit of pressure when you close this up. When you put your wheel on, you want to get it in the center. It wedges your wheel in to that block and help make it secure. Same thing in the back. I simply make sure it's in the center, press it down. It's indented the wheel a little bit, so you know it's nice and secure. Now that I have my bike on, let's just say for grands I need to get in the trunk. Another nice feature of this bike rack is you can drop it very easily, and then the trunk opens without any problem. Put it back up, it's super easy. Just click it. Clicks nicely into place. Now to take it off, reverse the process, put a little pressure on the arm, that opens up. And this comes off. When I head out for my ride done, I close these up, and I usually just put up flat to the car. You can see this sticks out quite a bit. So when you're backing up, be mindful of that. It also hides my license plate a little bit, but in this car, it doesn't hide. The turn signals or the brake lights are still visible when I use them. Next thing, I'm going to show you a nice feature. I'm going to put a e-bike on here. Now the e-bikes are a bit heavier, so I like the fact that these get out of the way, so when I pick the bike up, I can stand closer to it and put my bike on. This is a Trek Verb 3 low step. It weighs, I think, 58 pounds with the battery, 50 pounds without it. And again, it's kind of a beast, but I pick it up, set it in. Bike's secure, not going anywhere. You can see that I have a problem here with this wheel chock. It's going to hit the fender. I'm going to lower this wheel block. Drop behind. And now it's secure. If I'm going to put a bike on here with this a little bit lower, they say you want to make sure that the wheel block here is above the axle, and that way you're not going to lose control. For extra safety measures, take a Velcro piece of material and just wrap it around here to secure your tire. That makes sure if bad things happen, it's not going to go flying. One other thing I like to demonstrate that comes with this is a integrated lock. These are security locks. They come out of the sleeve, and it would wrap around your frame and lock in. You just insert this here. The same key that I used for the security pin is used for this. When you store it, what you want to do is you want to put it in and see it comes in and out very easily, and you twist it. Now it can't come out. That's for storage and for driving down the road. Same thing with this one. Okay, last thing I want to share. They have this accessory. It's a ramp. It just fits right on there. So now I can wheel my bike on without having to lift it. When you do this, you have to really pay attention. I think that goes for about $100. Another feature, that the trays are different levels. What that's for is to make sure that there's no conflict between the handlebars and the seat. Another way to store it, you certainly can have it so that these are up when you're driving. There is a concern I have on this rack. It's actually a pretty significant one. Right now you can see this tray wobbles a little bit. This one wobbles a little bit more. And the reason for that is because it has this feature where you can pivot it for storage. The pivot point is actually simply bolted in here with a hex nut. And what happens is this loosens over time. I've had experience that nearly every single time, or maybe every second or third time when I'm driving down the road, this will come loose to the point where this is wiggling. And my concern is that if that wiggles enough, this could possibly drop out when you're driving on the highway. Hasn't happened to me, but the reason I'm sharing this is really important. When you have this rack, I would just recommend tighten this every time before you go on a trip. Not hard to do, but if you don't do it, you could be sad if you lose a bike. And that's one of the reasons I think Saris actually redesigned this. This is the Saris MTR-2 rack. They have since replaced it with a newer version. It's the MHS 2 rack. And that one does not have the ability to fold up for storage. So if you're looking for a rack, you have a small garage, or you want the ability to take this off and throw it in your car, let's say you're somewhere you want to store it, or ease of storage in a smaller garage, this would be the rack to get. Because the other one, if these trays don't fold, it's pretty wide. This has got to be 4.5 feet long, and so putting it in my garage would be a bit of a challenge. So that's the one thing I really don't like about this rack. Other than that, it's a solid choice. It's rather economical. It's under $1,000 right now since Saris has discontinued this particular model and they've gone with the newer one, the MHS. You might be able to pick this up for a bargain. So just to summarize, the pros of this rack would be, one, it's a no frame contact bike rack. I really like that. It's not going to do any damage whatsoever to your frame. If you have a carbon fiber, that's a concern. The other thing I like about it, it's very secure. So once you have this on here, it's not going to budge. There'll be no wiggle when you drive down the freeway. I also like the fact that you can lower it for ease of access to your trunk. That's pretty common amongst racks. I also like the fact that the second tray is elevated, so you don't have the conflict between your handlebars and your seat post. I like the fact that if you want, you can buy that extra ramp I showed you to roll a really heavy bike up on it. Those are the significant pros. The cons, and the one that I have as material, is that the pivot mechanism loosens over time, so you want to keep that tightened every time you go it. And the other concern I would have, maybe longer term, is since they've discontinued it, there's a possibility in the future, if you need a replacement part, you may not be able to get one from Saris. At any rate, as I wrap this up, the final thing is, thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope you got some value out of this. Thanks.